Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I almost forgot what I was going to talk about. My name's Debbie, I'm the Crafty Shopper. I was on a roll with Christmas crafts and last minute, I normally like to plan my stuff, so this is just kind of a last minute craft and I thought I would share it with you. I was just going to make it and then post it. Just sometimes the videos take a little bit long to put together, but we're going to breeze through this. You can also change this build to something you like or switch it for a different holiday or event, celebration, stuff like that. So I'm going to Remembrance Day thing on Monday to remember all our lost ones that lost their lives in the war. And I believe in the US side, you guys call it Veterans Day. We call it Remembrance Day here in Canada. We are going to use some tumbling tower blocks. Kind of looking to make like a Flanders field, if that makes kind of look in a box with some crosses. I use Wellbond. I would suggest using any wood glue. I don't use suggesting all hot glue because hot glue doesn't seal the blocks properly. And when you glue them, they usually leave little gaps and they don't line up properly and they don't last. If you're going to take your time to make a build, I always suggest using wood glue. Now I'm going to use Wellbond. Terry's got me a bottle of, I'm saving this one from DT, has wood glue, and I know other crafters that have used the Gorilla Glue. I'm saving these for another video, so just make sure you use the right glue and also read the drying time on the back. We're going to use the DT blocks. In this video, all of them are going to be flat, and just a quick recap of that. And for anybody that's new, when I say stacked, means we glue the blocks on the wider part together like that. When I say flat, it's just all on the narrow part, and like that. And this block needs to find, it's chipped off, and you'll always notice that the blocks are never evenly cut, and that's okay. I always just try to swap them out and try to make stuff more even when I put them together. I do glue my sections prior to videos, otherwise my videos would probably be a couple hours long. Always get a pen and paper. You can pause the videos as you go along as well. We're going to start off with the base. And I'm just going to show you like this. Usually I have a paper and kind of hide it. You're going to start off with a row of 25 and another row of 25. And when I glue them together, I like to use the L-shaped square ruler from Dollar Tree just to keep them straight. And I also find when you're gluing two rows, I always put my blocks out before I glue this whole section, just to make sure that they all line up evenly, because some blocks are a lot thinner and longer. And if you don't match them all up, you will find that sometimes you might have a bigger gap on say on the bottom or the top that doesn't line up properly. So lay your blocks out first and go by sections is my best advice, and leaving them to dry before you put the piece, whatever we're working on, together. So it's 25 flat and another row underneath 25 flat. So that is 50. We're going to do, I don't know what happened to these ones too. I'll put it this way. We're going to do 2 rows of 5, so 5 flat, and another 5 flat. So that is 10, and you're going to need 2 sections. So the first one was the base. These ones I'm going to call the side. So we're just going to put those right up there. Then we're going to, I don't know why these blocks are really dirty. We're going to do 8 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's going to be 5 in each row as you go along. And this is going to be the front, or you can call it the back side of the box. This is the part where we're going to hold the crosses and all that. So there we have is 40, and you're going to need 2 pieces of 40. So for the box itself is 150. I'm going to move the ruler here. Now I'm going to let this box dry overnight. I'm going to glue the pieces together now. So we have one row, the first base of 50. Then we're going to stick one row, the back side, for example, and you're going to notice there's going to be a little lip on each side. You're going to glue it right on top, not in the ground and beside it, right on top of the bottom. Then you're going to add, you can either do the front next, and always make sure when you're gluing them together in a piece that you have the inside, because you know they have the little stamp on them. I'm going to glue the front section on. I'm going to add the glue off camera, obviously, but you're going to glue that part on. Then you're just going to add your two sides, and when you're putting them on, just make sure it's even on both sides, that you have another little little ledge on each end. And then you're just going to glue that here, here, and here, and glue that section right there, and that section right there. Now, sometimes when they don't fit properly, there's a little gap right there. Sometimes I like to just flip my blocks over, or maybe switch the sides, but that looks about right. And you're just going to want to glue it just like that, making sure it's nice and level on all areas. And sometimes it's just going to hang over a bit, and that's okay. And then I'm just going to glue it like that and leave it out overnight. Right, now that I have it, I've left it overnight, and most of the day as I was at work, it is fully dry all the way around. Now I'm going to do stain. Now I just bought this gel stain. It's a dark walnut from Rona. You don't have to do that, but I always suggest once you glue stuff together, I already went through with the buffers, is just buffing out any glue you see, because especially with stain, when you try to stain over it, you will see marks. Now I just put a puppy pad down. I buy them from Dollar Tree and I use them for my surface. I recently started that. And when you use gel stain, you don't need a lot, and I find a little can, you can do lots and lots of projects. So I just go on with the stain like this, and I just keep blending it in. The sides of the blocks will always be darker than the sides of the blocks, just because of the groove on the inside, and it absorbs more. And I'm just going to keep doing that, and then I just wipe it down after. So I'm just going to keep doing that, and I'm going to do all the way around in the inside of the box. All right, now that I have it painted and stained, I think it turned out really well. There's different things you can do. You can not put anything on it. You can use just stickers. It's just the letters. So the box turned out really well. Now, if you do find, I do have a little gap here. Now, if I was painting it, I would just fill it in with spackle, but I'm okay just to leave it as is. I might just put a little bit of hot glue on the inside because you're not going to see it. On the side, which I'm going to use as the front, I had a friend, Brent. I have a Cricut and I've never had time to play with it. I played with it a few times, still not professional, I guess, or even anywhere near amateur to use it. And it's still sitting around my computer desk and I don't have a chance. So I'm fortunate enough to know a fella in my neighborhood. His name is Brent and he does amazing work. I've ordered t-shirts and stuff like that for him. And I asked him for this last minute project. So for the Legion, that I could bring it to them on Monday. So I asked them just for a couple things. Now I did look on Temu and Amazon, and they do have the cutouts if you don't have a print of that. Or you can just use stickers, just the lettering, and you could just have it in big letters across the bottom. It's really up to you. It's customizable to whatever you want to do. You can put pictures of your loved ones, etc. So he did these 3 for me. I am going to put them on the front, and that's what I'm going to do with those. And then we're going to move on to the crosses. All right, so the box is drying from the stain. We're gonna do 5 crosses, 2 different sizes. We're gonna start off with the large cross, and we're gonna start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're just gonna put when you put the side blocks, just do it at the second one up, and you're gonna need 3 of those. So 9 blocks, and you're gonna need 3, so that's 27. And we're gonna do 2 small blocks, and they're gonna be 7. And we're gonna start at 1. We're gonna put on the inside. We did it on the outside, we're gonna do the inside. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna need 3 of those and 2 of those, and we're gonna glue them together. Now that I have them glued together, I already went with my buffer just to make sure, because you will have glue, and even though when I say with the stain, even if you have glue marks there as well, when you do paint it, you're gonna see it over the paint. So I always like to buff those out. So we got our 3s and our 2s, and I'm just gonna paint them, all 5 of them, just a white color, and I'm gonna do the front, back, and sides. All right, so I painted them white, and I rubbed a little bit of gray just on the side with my finger, just dabbing it really lightly, just to make it look more weathered and not just, excuse me, a solid white. So we have the 3 big crosses, 2 in the middle, small ones. Now we're gonna put some poppies on there. I'm just gonna take the needle right out. I've seen some really cool poppies made with cupcake liners, and then soaking them in red dye and fluffing them out. You know, tissue paper flowers similar to that. I just don't have time to do that, but I think that would be really cool if you had time. And as we know, it's just around the corner. Now, I'm just gonna take the pin out. I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue on the middle part. Just watch out for the little, and you're just gonna put it right in there. And then I'm just gonna use a little dabber, little point thing. You can get those at Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna put in a little bit of white. I'm just gonna dab it in the middle. And I'm gonna do on all the crosses right in the middle, and I'm just gonna hot glue on all of them. Now, there's also another thing that I thought that you could do. Like I said, my grandfather was in the war. Now, if you had one of those, like, you know, school-sized pictures, you could put them in the base of the box as well. You could hang chains with dog tags on it. Maybe you have some memorial stuff you want to put in the box that would make it more personalized. As though I'm giving this to the Legion, I would have just leaving a small square picture. If you had more than one family member in the war, it would look really nice. I'm gonna glue on the rest of the poppies, and then we're gonna put the crosses in the box. Now we're gonna go back to the box. Just gonna put some floral form in. I got 2 different colors. Gonna hot glue them down on them and together. Then you're gonna do placements of the middle one. I'm gonna angle kind of the side ones just a little bit angled. I'm gonna do them right centered. So the thicker the box, they will be pushed down. So they're not gonna be super like high on top of the box. And then the little bit shorter ones underneath. So I decided to add on the bottom some more poppies on the bottom, and we're gonna put some reindeer moss down first in the base of the block, and then I'm gonna add some poppy flowers. I just had these little dowels that I had on hand, and just gave them a quick coat of just some green, dark green, pine green paint. And then the same process with just gluing on the poppies and painting the circular little dot in the middle white. Now, with the little white, you'll notice is the little felt actually really absorbs the white paint. So I've given it a good 5-6 coats on some of them. I didn't do the bottoms because they're just going to be stuck in the base around the crosses. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to flip it over and you can show you what it looks like finished. All right, guys, so here it is done. I know this was a fast tutorial and there's only a couple days to Remembrance and Veteran Day, but I'd really like to see your guys' vision. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thank you to all my subscriber friends. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you for all sharing your crafts with me. Happy crafting. See you soon. Bye.